MBK, altijd fijn als er merken zijn die ik van vroeger nog ken. En toen was dat een motorische scooter. En nu is dat allemaal veranderd, want MBK staat hier tegenwoordig enerzijds met een Fatbike en anderzijds met wat ik denk dat heel lichte elektrische fietsen zijn. Vandaag spreken we met Henrik, verantwoordelijk voor het merk. Henrik, thank you for meeting us here on the stand of MBK.
Thank you.
I'm very curious because MBK is definitely not what I used to know it as. Is this already something that's available in Belgium?
It's already available in Belgium. This color is a new color, so this will be available in a couple of months.
Yeah.
But the bike is already there since 2-3 months in other colors.
And this is the MBK Aura?
Our MBK Aura has a low entry frame. It's a new model we introduced actually this year.
Okay. They seem really light.
Yes, they are around 20 kilograms, depending on whether you have mounted this front carrier.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also in the rear hub and the belts, those are two things that I know that, for example, a Belgian market likes. Is that something you can give us more info on which one, how it works?
It comes with a 14 Newton meter Miwise engine, and it's driven by a Gates belt. So it's a one-speed bike.
Yeah.
And it means that when it goes a little bit uphill, you use the assist button here as the speed or the gear.
So you augment the power of the motor.
So it makes the speed a little bit redundant when you have the assist here. That's how I use it, at least.
Yeah, I've driven this one myself, and what I found nice about it is that it has more sensors than we're used to in rear-wheel hubs, which gives a much more natural feeling.
Yeah, I would say as a company, we have already been big fans of hub motors because it allows an e-bike to look not as heavy as a crank-based e-bike. And that look and feel we have already been a champion of in Denmark. So when Miwise came to us and said, now we've implemented a torque sensor, so the driving sensation is like a crank-based e-bike, but the look and the feel and the weight is like a hub-based. So it actually gives the best of two worlds, we think.
Yeah, even three worlds, because in terms of maintenance, if you have a belt plus a single speed with the motor, there's only one thing theoretically that can break, which would be the motor, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah,
that's correct.
So there is no maintenance for people who own this bike?
No.
And no parts that can break?
It's actually a very simple bike, and it's an excellent bike for a first-time user, and you can just sit on it and go, and the assist level or the assist feeling is excellent.
Okay. If there was an ideal person you would describe to ride this bike in terms of not necessarily the person, but the route, say flat, uphill, what would be perfect for this, for example?
Well, I think for Denmark, Holland, Belgium, it would suit everywhere. And it's perhaps a good bike for a young or, well, actually all age groups. And with this frame, I won't say it's a lady frame or a gent frame, it's more like a unisex frame.
So it's a low step. We've stopped calling it lady frames because if you get older, swinging it over becomes impossible. And not only that, if you put a child carrier here,
it's impossible.
It becomes impossible. Mom or dad, you need to go through. So
exactly.
Yeah, we've stopped naming it that way.
Yeah.
Easy entrance, I think, is definitely a good selling point for any bike at this point in time.
Exactly. And now being here in Paris, we are thrilled introducing this particular color because it's vintage MBK. This was actually all the way back to the history of motormechanics, like the mobilette. It came in this exact color. So you see this color all over France right now, but they are 30 or 40 years old. It's quite fun.
Yeah, it's really nice to see. For me personally, it's a bit nostalgic to see MBK back into what I drive or what I ride. So that's very nice. The motor, this one you mentioned 40 Newton meters, so that's quite powerful for a rear hub. Good, because it's a single speed. The battery, what can we expect there?
It's 360 watt hour.
So it's good for, given that it's a rear motor, if it's flat surface, for example,
it gives you 60 to 80 kilometers. Yeah, and actually I tested it this summer with my wife with a lot of carriage and my own weight. And we were doing between 65 and 75 in the hilly part of the island of Funen in Denmark. So I've tested it myself, and I also know when, it's a good ride, even when it runs out of...
you can ride it without battery as well. Yeah. What I like about it as well is that even though it's a light bike that is meant to drive smooth and whatnot, is you've opened the possibility to add cargo items. Because as you mentioned, when you're going somewhere, having it in a backpack if you don't have anything that becomes a bit difficult, and now you can just bring it with there here.
And you know, we take so much care of actually paying respect to what MBK was. But then, of course, we're also making it a little bit more modern. So, and we are in Denmark a big fan of the Swedish Atran Velo system, where you can very easy mount all kinds of things, bags and baskets and so on.
And this is Atran Velo system.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
cool.
Yeah.
Very nice. Excellent. Thank you for the explanation. Now, I noticed there's 3 other models. Is there something you could tell us about those as well?
Yep. We're also doing a traditional city bike in MBK. We call it Image. So this is like a unisex or lady frame, traditional, but it goes both ways. We have the gent frame here.
Yeah.
But what I want to point out, more or less, it's the same motor as the Aura we spoke about. This is with derailleur.
Yeah.
I like personally the feel of the battery handling. It's very easy.
It's great that it comes to the side as well.
Yeah, exactly. So it's good for rain, and then I like the feeling that it just closes like a door on a Mercedes car. I really like it.
Yeah, no, I just heard it. I like it too. Okay, and this is the Image?
This is the Image, the lady frame, and then the Image is here.
Okay.
They come in 2 configurations. And that's the same with the Aura. We do it with derailleur and we do it with 1-speed gates.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
And then a very last one that I've noticed, and then maybe we're going back more towards history of MBK because of the Fatbike wheels.
Yeah, we have noticed the fat bikes are growing. What we wanted to do was to do a stylish fat bike, which was actually legal. So it's been tested and it works like an e-bike, so it stops at 25. It has a quite powerful motor.
And do you know which one is this?
It's an Ananda motor.
Okay.
But it's still with a Miwise system.
No, the
So
controller.
it works the same as the other.
Okay.
But because of the wider tires and the bigger axle, we needed to go to Ananda to find the motor here.
Yeah. No, okay, that's great.
Comes in 2 colors. This beige color and then a matte black color. Okay. And they are on the market from October.
Okay. And for the people who are watching, because we are a Belgian channel, are there any stores in Belgium? Do you have retailers, dealers? Where can people find you?
We are with, let's say, 20 to 30 stores in Belgium right now. Perhaps even more.
And on the website, you can find where they are, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay, that's great information. I like how, well, again, for me, it's nostalgia. So I really like how MBK has changed history again and has become a new MBK, coming over also from the history of MBK Motobekan as well.
Yeah, that's what I like about our e-bikes, is that they reflect a symbiosis of what it used to be, Motobekan, brought up to a more modern day, where we add some of the Danish design elements. That's how we actually try to take care of something which is very much to the heart of the French, and then we add some of the Danish bike tradition to it. Yeah.
That's also what we see on the Motobekans, the French heritage, the Danish style.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, super. Thank you for having us on your stand and explaining everything. I'm personally very happy MBK is back, at least in Belgium then.
Yeah.
And I hope that we can review the bike as well completely for our channel so that people know what to expect.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
Super, thanks. Voor de mensen die kijken, als jullie vragen hebben over de merken dat je hier hebt gezien, dan zet je dat gewoon onderaan in de comments en dan komen zij of ik daar zo snel mogelijk op terug. Bedankt voor het kijken. Vergeet niet het kanaal te liken en te followen, zodat ook wij verder kunnen groeien. Tot de volgende keer.